Okay, so my last task asks me to ensure that I've spell checked and proofread the document, and making sure that there's no list split over 2 columns or pages, no widows or orphans, no blank pages, how style and specifications should have been followed, with correct styles applied to all of the sections as instructed. The image and graph are placed within the column width, and spacing between items is consistent. It then asks me to save the document and print it. First of all, don't rush this section. Make sure you do read through because they may well put in little typing errors or duplications of words and things that they're expecting you to spot and to correct. So I'm having a read through here, and one of the issues that I need to fix is my orphans here, whereby I have headings separated out from the text. So I'm going to knock this one down onto the next page, which I believe also solves the teaching methods one, which is fine. Libraries is split over 2 pages. However, I'm just looking to see whether it would be beneficial to move it onto the next page. We can test it to see if that actually helps moving libraries along. Okay, leisure activities here, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's fine. I can leave that as such. It wasn't too much of a big deal because it wasn't where you have just one line and the rest of the text appearing in the next column. There were 3 or 4 lines separated out. So that's not too much of a big deal, but if you did have just one line or one heading, make sure you do fix those. This is fine, all within the settings here. And now you see I've just spotted there a error, so I need to fix that. Oh, and that should say course materials, I'm sure. SE. Wi-Fi is fine, I'm not going to fix that. Throughout your time of study, the university will contact. Yeah, that's not really a problem. I'm not considering that to be an error. Why has it highlighted it there? Because it wants you to use a comma. That's fine. So we can add that in so. Okay. Once I'm happy with it, then this is the stage now where I would print. I'm not going to fix this because that's the name of the university. Okay. Other than that, I will be printing. The next instruction 23 asks me that the university are going to be creating an online facility to enable communication on a range of issues. They need to decide between using a blog or a forum. Evaluate in your own words the difference between a blog and a forum and recommend which you consider to be the most appropriate option for the university, explaining your reasons. And then it says in the evidence document, type your evaluation and recommendation with reasons with no more than 100 words. So I'll show you what I've done for this. In my evidence document, I have this statement here, and I can see how many words it is by highlighting the text. And down at the very bottom here, it will tell you how many words are highlighted. This is 91 words of the 174 that are on my evidence document. And I've said, a blog is a type of electronic diary. It is usually maintained by a single author, and people can follow them, meaning that they will see the posts published. Followers can comment on blogs, but cannot edit posts. A forum is an online community where all members can post questions and the members can respond to posts. This enables better communication, although it does require the supervision to ensure posts and replies are appropriate. I recommend a forum rather than a blog, as this will promote all users to participate more. So that is my justification, and you would be expected to do something similar. This does come up time to time in the practical tests. It's essentially where they're looking at a crossover between your theory knowledge and your practical skill. So you're being asked to write a justification of something we've done in theory as part of your practical task. So moving on from there, the next instruction is to manage the database. So I'm going to save all of my Word files here, minimize them down, and then I'm going to get started on my database. So it tells me I'm going to prepare some reports for the university, examining the data in file j227degree.csv and j227faculty.csv. Using a suitable software database package, import the file j227degree.csv using the following field names and data types. Set the course code as the primary key and save the data. So I'm going to go into Access and start a new database. And in my new database, I'm going to go to External Data and I'm going to bring in my text file. I'm going to browse for my text file. my files are on my desktop, and I'm looking for the J227 degree.csv. I'm importing the source data into a new table in the current database. Remember, if you'd created a table first, so if it asked you to design the table and then import the files into that table, you would want to attach those to an existing table rather than importing them to a new table. But that's what I'm doing here, in bringing them into a new table. Press OK. Delimited, it's always the way. Okay, so I leave that as it is. Next. And my first row contains my field names. As I said, if you're bringing files into a table that already exists, your first row will not contain the field names because you'll have already made the field names. But 90% of the time you're asked to bring in a new file. So this first row contains field names. And I'm going to press next again. And this is where I'm going to edit my fields. So it tells me the field names that I should have. So I should have, the first one is the field name faculty code with an underscore. Yeah, that's correct. And that should be text. Yes. Okay. This one here should be qualification code. Okay. Again, text. Subject, text. Advisor, text. Course code, text. Length should be numeric integer. I can leave that as long integer for now. That's absolutely fine. Length. Male, again, integer. Female, integer. And then full-time should be Boolean or logical. So in Access, that's a yes, no file. Okay. And then we will make sure that the course code gets set as the primary key. Okay, next, and finish. Okay, close, saving the data. So open this up. Here it is. I want to change this view here so it doesn't look like -1s and 0s, but it looks like yes, no. So I'm going to go into my home, and I'm going to change the view to the design view, and I'm going to ensure that this section here, the format of this, should be yes, no. Okay, so that will give me my yes, no view. Save the table. There we go. Okay, take a screenshot of evidence showing the field names and data types used in the table. Insert the screenshot into your evidence document. So again, I can do that in my design view. Jump back into the design view. There are all the field names. There are all the data types. Okay, function and F11 to screenshot into my evidence document. Control and paste. Okay, back into design view. So now it wants me to restrict the data entry in the length field to accept only numbers of 6 or less. So we want to ensure that the length should be 6 or less. So I'm going to do that by going into my design view and under the length heading, I want to add some instructions to this. Okay, so I can do that under the validation rule. Okay, and the validation rule should be less than or equal to 6. So that instruction there, less than or equal to 6, is my validation rule for the length number. And again, take a screenshot of this to show in my evidence document. So function and F11 for the screenshot into the evidence document. Okay, and that's what I'm looking to show. What I can do here is, if I'm looking to show something specific, I can actually crop down my screenshot so that I can then make it larger so that I can see it more clearly. So if I crop down that screenshot there and then make it a little bit bigger, I can now see more clearly the validation rule that I've added. Okay. And again, save yes. Okay, so this is fine. also tells me to add the record, faculty code, qualification code, subject advisor. So I'm going to jump down to the bottom of my data sheet. Okay. Okay, so faculty code is AES, qualification code is BS, subject is food science, advisor is CTY, course code is AG137 BS, length is 5, 2 males, 5 females, full-time is yes. Okay, so check your data entry and save the data. So control save everything there. Okay, the next task asks me to import the file j227faculty.csv into a new table in your database and set the faculty code as the primary key. Create a relationship between the faculty code in the faculty table and the faculty code field in the degree table, and then take a screenshot to show the relationship. So let's go and get some more external data from a text file, browse for the file, and this one is the faculty file we're bringing in. Okay, next, first row contains field names. Doesn't tell me to change anything in the data types, so I'm going to leave them as they are, but it did give me my primary key, so the primary key should be the faculty code as the primary key. Next, and finish. Okay, so now I have my second table, which will appear, there it is, J27 faculty. Closing the first table that I've got open, I'm going to go into my database tools to see the relationships, bring in both tables. Okay, and then the relationship that I want to make is the faculty code field in the faculty table, okay, and the faculty code field in the degree table. So I'm going to pick up the faculty code field from the faculty table and drag it onto the faculty code field in the degree table, like so. Okay, so from the faculty table, the faculty code, and from the degree table, the faculty code, create. So there's my relationship, and again, I need a screenshot of that. Save it. Okay, so at this point I'm going to save, and you can continue with the next tutorial.